Fastest cricket score updates. Fastest cricket score updates या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज,
सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म,
क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello and welcome to Cricket Next. मैं हूं सौम्य कपूर and the first test between India and South Africa has moved into the second day. India का overnight score है 208 for 8 with KL Rahul still there batting at 70. Well, to talk more about India's batting and what can they do in this day two, I have with me Jamie Alter and Sahil Malhotra joining this live session. Welcome to Cricket Next, Sahil and Jamie. Jamie, I'll start with you. How do you rate that KL Rahul knock? What are your thoughts about it in the first place?
Look, he faced the same amount of balls in the World Cup final, and he hit 1-4. So I'm just trying to comprehend, a guy who can hit 10 fours and 2 sixes in tough conditions against good bowling in a test match. Where was this KL Rahul in the World Cup final? So again, like I said, I mean, I'm only backtracking to show the infuriating aspect of KL Rahul. Centurion, Super Sport Park, bounce, 4 pacers. वहां तो आप बड़े प्यार से लोग रिकी पॉन्टिंग से इनको तोड़ रहे हैं कि बड़े चक्के. When was this KL Rahul in a World Cup final? It just goes. Hats off to him. I believe he's done something exceptional. Personally, मेरे खुद के expectations say he's gone beyond. But again, it just shows you why a guy who's played 47 test matches and got runs across the world, why he's so frustrating to watch. But coming back to the bigger picture, look, many people will say कि यार देखो अगर 250 तक पहुंच गए तो मैच बन जाएगा. I am not one of those people because I have full faith कि ये bowling attack 20 विकेट ले सकता है और जरूर लेगा इस मैच में, क्योंकि साउथ अफ्रीका की बैटिंग में बहुत वीकनेस है. But unfortunately, like I said, we've seen this film before. 220, 230, 250 से काम नहीं बनेगा. Just go back. I know if Chetan were here, he would say 18 छोड़ो, 6 साल हो गए. पिछला टूर देखो यार. Why did India lose the series? Because the batting did not stand up. बहुत लोग ने कहा था कि नहीं, the bowlers were not able to defend 212. 212 is not a defendable target. It has to be 350, So again, I want to be optimistic, but unfortunately, I've seen this episode, this film, this book. I've seen it too often. I know कि 208 पे 8, 210 all out हो सकता है. Hats off to KL Rahul, but a 70 to 80 won't work. This 70 has to become 135. And unfortunately, the tail is not good enough to support him. So sorry for being so cynical, but yeah, it's very hard for me to say anything on this knock right now.
Sir, what do you think? Scoring 250 or probably 270 if something miraculous happens, वो भी enough नहीं होगा Indian the kind of bowling attack India possesses right now.
See, 270 is way far from 200, right? Abhi we are long way away from even 230 right now. Siraj is at the other end and Prasidh Krishna is to follow. So you just need a couple of deliveries to polish the tail off. And KL Rahul did signal his intent in the later half of the day yesterday that jo bhi uske aankh mein hoga, he'll go after it. He was not leaving any room on offer. Jo room tha, he was flashing and slashing at those deliveries. It is going to be the case today because he's not going bad time at all. He is going to look for runs. But support is not there from the other end. Agar Shardul probably aaj rehta because he played a very brave knock yesterday. Matlab, got into weird positions, weird angles, weird footwork, but he ensured to kind of fight it out there. बहुत मतलब एक bravery वाला effort था उसका. Kal took a couple of blows on the body too. But with Mohammad Siraj and Prasidh Krishna, I don't have really high hopes. Bumrah भी एक certain extent तक अगर रहता तो मैं मान लेता चलो थोड़ा block कर देगा. But with Siraj and Prasidh Krishna, I think 270 तो बहुत दूर है. अभी I would hope कि 225, 230 लेकर जाए, but तब भी ये at least 50-60 run short होंगे क्योंकि if you look at the scorecard, there are probably 2 more batters other than KL Rahul who got starts. So at least one of them should have been out there converting it into a big one. That wasn't the case, boss. So we are definitely plenty of runs short even on this trip.
Yeah. Rahul bhai, coming to you, how do you rate KL Rahul's knock so far, and also what is a good score right now, considering the kind of bowling attack we have, और जो जिस तरीके की conditions हैं इस टाइप को?
Obviously it was a brave knock. We spoke yesterday in the post-day session. और आई मीन दैट वाज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट यार. अगर वो नहीं खेलते तो कितना बड़ा कोलैप्स था. मतलब इंडिया वुड नॉट हैव इवन रीच्ड 200 180 150.
Yeah.
See, that is not important. Okay, Rahul played. That is something very crucial. Now, today, what happens exactly is more important. कल खेले कल हम लोग को मतलब we were exposed. Obviously, to the first day. First day पे आप expect करेंगे it would be unfair because throughout last year we've been playing on different condition and they are not been like maybe South Africa, England or Australia. सिर्फ इंग्लैंड में खेले वो एक मैच और एक मैच से आपको एक्सपीरियंस नहीं मिलता. You have been playing cricket for in India for the past like 6-7 months. Suddenly you're exposed to different condition where you have a bouncy wicket, swinging condition, overcast है. तो I mean it would be unfair immediately first innings में जज करना कि भाई कैसा हमने परफॉर्म किया ये वो. सेकेंड इनिंग में कैसा करते हैं, क्या अडेप्ट करते हैं, एक्लिमेटाइज कर लें, अपने वीकनेसेस जान लेते हैं, कंडीशंस पहचान लेते हैं, वो इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा कैसे बाउंस बैक करें. राइट नाउ दिस नॉक इज प्रेशियस यार. इट्स अ जेम ऑफ अ नॉक played very well with intent in the later stages. आज भी आपको वही करना है. अगर आप टीम मीटिंग में बैठे हैं, आप लीडर हैं, तो आप एक्सपेक्ट क्या करेंगे? आप कहेंगे राहुल यू जस्ट प्ले योर गेम, आप वहां पर जाके ज्यादा से ज्यादा स्ट्राइक लो क्योंकि हमको एक सर्टेन स्टेज पे पहुंचना है, हमको एटलीस्ट 250 तक पहुंचना है. आप एक एक करके टारगेट लोगे 10-10 रन का, तो आपको मैक्सिमम स्ट्राइक आपको लेनी है, इनको एक्सपोज नहीं करना है क्योंकि ज्यादा से ज्यादा रन, एवरी रन इज इंपॉर्टेंट राइट नाउ. आई मीन कितना भी बेटर बॉलिंग अटैक हुआ आपका, कितना भी, मगर आपके पास मोहम्मद शमी नहीं है जो लास्ट सीरीज में क्लिक होते हैं और जिनको ज्यादा डिफिकल्टी होती है साउथ अफ्रीकन बैट्समैन को खेलने के लिए. यू हैव जसप्रीत बुमराह. आई एम स्टिल येट टू इट्स साउथ अफ्रीका एंड इफ द कंडीशंस आर कंटिन्यूज टू बी द सेम कल के जैसा, तो आई डोंट हैव फेथ इन मोहम्मद सिराज हु इज गोइंग टू बी रियली वेवर्ड. तो वो कंट्रोल आना इंपॉर्टेंट है. प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा इज मेकिंग हिज डेब्यू. सो मेरा आई एम पिनिंग माय होप्स ऑन जसप्रीत बुमराह राइट नाउ. उसके बाद सिराज कैसे करते, क्या उनका कंट्रोल रहेगा, वो इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो देखने लायक रहेगा. बट देन आई वुड एक्सपेक्ट केएल राहुल इस वक्त, भाई तुम जाके इंटेंट दिखाओ, मेरिट पे खेलो, मगर आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा स्ट्राइक मत दो. आप जितना हो सके लंबा खेलो, आप जोड़ते रहो रन और खराब बॉल को बाउंड्रीज कवर्स के थ्रू मारो, आप एंजॉय करो बैटिंग. But then the most important part, you take maximum strike और कुछ नहीं आपके पास. Don't expose them, otherwise it's going to be difficult. So every run counts from here now. Every run. मतलब एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे कि आप लंच तक बैटिंग करें, अनफेयर रहेगा क्योंकि यार मोमेंट्स ऐसे आएंगे कि साउथ अफ्रीका will bounce him out or maybe those overcasts अभी भी रहेंगे तो वो मुश्किल रहेगा स्विंग होगा बॉल. तो फर्स्ट आवर इज ऑब्वियसली इंपॉर्टेंट, बट देन और भी बहुत ज्यादा स्टेजेस बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रहेंगे. आई वुड एक्सपेक्ट दिस गाय टू बैट थ्रू आउट जितना मुश्किल जितना हो सके. उसके बाद मैच डिफिकल्ट है, मैच इंटरेस्टिंग है, बट उससे ज्यादा.
Just a small update. The covers are on again because it has started raining in Centurion once again. So we can expect a delayed start on the second day as well. Well, Jamie, but we have been talking about this batting depth, and I put it in those quotes and bold letters. Batting depth की बात करते हो और आप 208 पे 8 हो. I mean, that's actually ridiculous. So what do you have to say?
Again, if Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, Shubman Gill, if they're not scoring runs, and I go back to what I said yesterday, this is Virat Kohli's 4th Test tour. I know he has the second best stats after Sachin Tendulkar, and Rohit Sharma has also been here. But if these guys are not scoring runs, are we going to really talk about depth? This has been a problem for the last 4 years since the WTC came into effect. जब ये प्लेयर्स जो मेन प्लेयर्स है ये सब 30 पार किया उन्होंने, the batting depth has been a problem. And of course you don't expect कि Jadeja complains of a back spasm. You value his batting, but वो नहीं है. So where's that depth going to come? Yes, Ashwin is an all-rounder, but majority of his hundreds have come, I think, all against West Indies in certain docile tracks. So your depth ends with the keeper batsman. Yes, you can count Shardul Thakur and you can count Ashwin, but I mean, if the top 5 are not scoring runs, you're not going to win matches. और मैं अभी भी मानता हूं कि इंडिया की bowling, they can roll over South Africa for 150 in these conditions. But the point is, whatever India gets, they're going to have to keep South Africa to 100 runs minimum, because batting is going to get tougher. Rain is going to come. Yes, South Africa's batting 4th, but they will chase 200, they will chase 220. You need to set them in excess of 250. And I'm just going back to 2 years ago. Like Chetan was talking about 18 ko bhulo, 2 saal pehle, and I think it was 212, 221, 222. These targets were being chased down. ओके एक दो प्लेयर यहाँ नहीं है, बट यार कीगन पीटरसन वाज स्कोरिंग 80 नॉट आउट देन, एडन मार्करम वाज देयर, डीन एल्गा वाज देयर. चलिए एक दो प्लेयर नहीं है. अब you're just going to have to convert this 208 to 260 270. बहुत मुश्किल है. I thought KL Rahul was brilliant in the last 20 minutes. He was going for his shots. अगर जो शामी के अगर सिराज और कृष्णा जल्दी आउट होते and India's total is 215, they're going to have to bowl out South Africa for 115, because beyond that we can talk about batting depth, but it's very, very crucial now that this 208 gets converted to, I don't know, 275 fatafat.
Yeah. So, Ismail, coming to you, I wanted to have a discussion with you on this topic. I was thinking about this. We had a discussion yesterday in the post-match session, post-day session, that when Rishabh Pant was there, he had a Pujara with him, complementing each other, contrasting characters but complementing each other. One was staying at the crease, one was scoring runs. KL Rahul is not having that kind of a support, right? From the other end, he has to do the ball scoring and he has to be there at the crease. And you haven't taken a lot of batters in the squad to South Africa, and you have someone very young, like comparatively, who is Hanuma Vihari. उनका कोई नाम भी नहीं, उनकी कोई बात भी नहीं हो रही. आई अग्री, उनका फॉर्म उतना बेहतरीन नहीं रहा है रेड बॉल में, बट ही इज समवन हु कैन स्टे देयर एंड कैन कॉम्प्लीमेंट केएल राहुल ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट. कि कुछ ऐसा कोई प्लेयर होना चाहिए था इस 11 के अंदर. What do you have to say?
No, I don't think Hanuma Vihari has done himself any favor of even coming into the reckoning, because his last couple of years for Andhra have been very disappointing. He hasn't set the domestic stage on fire, and that is what you are required to do when you are dropped from the national side. That is what someone like a Cheteshwar Pujara did when he went to England. That is what Ajinkya Rahane did when he went back to Mumbai. But Hanuma Vihari unfortunately hasn't done that. We have seen a couple of his innings at the Arun Jaitley Stadium for Andhra when he was coming here last winter. And he didn't look like the Hanuma Vihari of the old. He was a fantastic player of spin. I really liked him against spin when he started out and had those mountain seasons year after year in the domestic circuit. But just the moment after he was dropped from the national side, reasons which are still strange to me, because he was your number 3 in one of the series when Pujara wasn't there. He was dropped out of one of the series, and I think that kind of did hit him, and that hit him so bad that he has not recovered from that blow yet. He needs to have a bumper season to be even around the test reckoning right now, because abhi to Sarfaraz se bhi piche ho gaya na. He's not even in the India setup because of the age factor which the national selectors keep in mind. So Hanuma Vihari debate, I think abhi to Hanuma Vihari छोड़ो यार, अभी तो I think the bigger discussion is ये कि 70 रन जो KL राहुल के आए हैं, ये तो इस सीरीज से पहले हमें होप भी नहीं था कि ये 6 नंबर पर आकर बैटिंग करेगा. हमें तो था कि ईशान किशन टेस्ट विकेट कीपर है, तो ईशान किशन 6, तो बैटिंग तो आपका 5 पे ही खत्म हो रहा था ना. तो डेप्थ का इतना रोना गाना तब मचना चाहिए जब आपके ऊपर के 3-4 एकदम शॉट खेल रहे हो. पहले तो ऊपर शॉट करना है ना, डेप्थ आप नीचे 9 तक खिला लो ना. ईशान किशन को भी 9 पर ले आओगे, बट दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प एनीवन. If you are expecting Shardul Thakur, Ravindra Jadeja, Ravichandran Ashwin or Jasprit Bumrah to contribute 70 runs with the bat every time they come out, I think you are not doing them any favor. You need to expect your batters. I don't know where that logic goes out of picture, that why can't you just be out there and just get the shine of the leather. Yes, conditions were tough yesterday, but couple of dismissals, both Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma, they were soft, they were frustrating. मतलब आप फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गए ऐसी डिसमिसल्स ऐसी पिच पर देखकर, खासकर जहां आपको पता है कि देयर इज गोइंग टू बी दैट वन बॉल जिस पे आपका नाम लिखा हुआ है, जैसे वो विराट कोहली को पड़ी, जैसे वो अश्विन को पड़ी. दोस आर गुड डिलीवरी. If you get out, no, Shreyas Iyer he was sitting like a duck. He wasn't moving forward, he wasn't moving back. मतलब Shreyas Iyer no, it was a good ball, but he could have dealt with it better. No, he stood there waiting for the short ball. And as a result, he didn't move forward, didn't press back. The ball just jagged back in and through the gate. So I think वो एक बॉल आपको मिलने वाला है. कल जेमी आई थिंक वो बोल रहे थे जब वो विराट के 30-40 की तारीफ कर रहे थे, he said there's going to be that one delivery which is going to come in. That one delivery did come in, but I think it was a fantastic delivery from Rabada. बहुत replays देखे मैंने. Could Virat Kohli have done anything different? Unfortunately not, because it came in with the angle, swung late, perfect delivery. Again with Ashwin also. तो आपको 2 बॉल तो देखो 8 में से ऐसा मिल गया, 2 विकेट आपने उनको भेंट में दे दिया, तो बचे 6. उसके अंदर भी आप कह रहे हो कि डेप्थ चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं होता ना. तो मतलब ऊपर वालों को करना पड़ेगा. हनुमा विहारी वगैरह वाला डिबेट तो हम पूरा साल कर सकते हैं. शुभमन गिल at 3, Rohit at top, need to show more responsibility, boss.
So what I mean is not just Hanuma Behri, not specifically Hanuma Behri, someone who can stay there. All these players, look at Rohit, look at Shubman, they don't look to stay. They अगर उनके हाथ में बॉल है, पहला ओवर है या 10वां, वो जाएंगे. And that is not you. That is how you don't play Test cricket. That is what I mean. So you at least need somebody who is looking to stay there at the crease. This is what I mean. And coming to Taus bhai,
but I think Taus bhai, 1 second, sorry, but I think ये जब stay there वाला batsman इंदौर में खड़ा होकर टक टक कर रहा था when the ball was turning square and Todd Murphy and Nathan Lyon were unplayable on that minefield of a track, Rohit Sharma was not pleased. मतलब अगर वो वायरल जो वीडियो हुआ था when Pujara was kind of dead batting those deliveries, so clearly the management and the think tank wants to move on from that mentality. They want someone who can just come and take the game on. I'm not saying headless, mindless batting like baseball, but probably show some intent while you are batting, stay positive. Now that you are stuck with that mentality, now that you have decided to push Gill at 3, तो आपने वो माइंडसेट कर दिया कि आपको 3 के ऊपर वो राहुल द्रविड़, चेतेश्वर पुजारा वाले मोल्ड वाला बैटर नहीं चाहिए. यू वांट समवन हु विल कम एंड स्टार्ट प्लेइंग हिज फ्लोई शॉट्स एंड गेट द गेम, गिव द गेम अ मूव ऑन.
गिल ने 12 बॉल में कोई ऐसा फ्लो नहीं दिखाया साहिल, एंड द वे ही गॉट आउट.
आई एग्री जो आप कह रहे हो, मैं एकदम अग्री कर रहा हूँ कि आपको सॉलिड नंबर 3 चाहिए, क्या नहीं चाहिए. बट आप इस मैनेजमेंट का माइंडसेट देखोगे, जिस तरीके से प्लेयर्स पिक हो रहे हैं, जिस तरीके का कॉम्पोजिशन बना रहे हो, 11 बना रहे हो, उसके अंदर आपको ऐसे प्लेयर्स का जगह दिख ही नहीं रहा ना. तभी वो पुजारा के लिए इशारा गया था ईशान किशन के थ्रू इंदौर टेस्ट के अंदर. वो 60 पे खेल रहा था बॉस, एंड आई थिंक दैट वाज वन ऑफ हिज बेटर नॉक्स इन द लास्ट 1 year. दैट पिच वाज डिफिकल्ट. द बॉल वाज, कुछ भी हो रहा था उस विकेट के ऊपर. वो माइंड स्वीपर गेम होता था ना डेस्कटॉप पे जो हम खेलते थे कि कहीं पे बटन दबेगा तो बम आ जाएगा, वो विकेट वैसा ही था. मतलब टॉड मर्फी एक टॉर पे आके अनप्लेएबल हो गया, तो आप सोचो कि किस तरीके की विकेट थी. तो पुजारा उस मैच के अंदर ब्रिलियंट था, बट मैनेजमेंट को पसंद नहीं था. और मुझे अभी भी कैटेगोरिकली, मैंने रोहित से सवाल पूछा था मैच के बाद कि श्रेयस का एक इम्पैक्ट नॉक आया था उस टेस्ट मैच के अंदर. आई थिंक ही गॉट आउट टू स्टार्क शॉट मिड विकेट, और वो बहुत पॉजिटिव खेल रहा था उस इनिंग्स के अंदर. ही वाज लुकिंग टू टेक द गेम ऑन. सो रोहित सेड ही विल वेलकम दोस नॉक्स विद ओपन आर्म्स. अभी मैं समझ गया बॉस, इसको ऐसा ही प्लेयर चाहिए टू टेक द गेम ऑन. दैट इज व्हाई देयर इज नो पुजारा, देयर इज नो रहाणे. You have someone like a Gill, Shreyas Iyer, and now KL Rahul at 6.
I'll just end the discussion with one thing, that टेस्ट क्रिकेट का एंटरटेनमेंट सिर्फ चौथे और 5वें दिन हो सकता है, पहले ही सेशन में नहीं.
ऐसा विकेट मिलेगा, ऐसा पिच मिलेगा, तो आपको पहले बॉल से एंटरटेनमेंट मिलेगा ना, जैसा कल हुआ.
With the bat, I'm saying with the bat,
No, I mean like contest. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a comment here, Taus bhai from Rick Mishra. He says Indian Test team needs a certain profile at number 3, and Gill is certainly not that guy. Resilience to bat at number 3 comes from proper Test batters. Team should invest in Eastern-like batters. What do you have to say?
Exactly right, Mishra ji, he is right. Exactly what should be like. आपको पहले टेस्ट क्रिकेट और जो लिमिटेड ओवर्स फॉर्मेट में डिफरेंस आपको लाना है. एग्जैक्टली आप किस तरह से ब्लूप्रिंट निकालना है आपको, क्योंकि दीज कंडीशंस can only be played by batsmen who are experienced. आपने कितने साल गुजारे हैं, आप सडनली आके आप इंटेंट दिखाओ, ऐसे कंडीशन में मूव हो रहा है बॉल और सीम हो रहा है, आपको आइडल या आप T20 शॉट्स या एकदम ओवर इंटेंट दिखाने लग रहा है, ऐसा नहीं चलता. यू नीड अ लॉट ऑफ पेशेंस टू बी देयर. बहुत ज्यादा पेशेंस, वहां पर स्कोर कभी रन नहीं आएंगे. तो आपको वो प्लान बना, आपको आप ट्रांजिशन की बात करते, आपने एक यंग कैप्टन को ट्रांजिशन फेज में आपने ग्रूम नहीं की, आपने अजिंक्य रहाणे और पुजारा के रिप्लेसमेंट्स को तैयार किया है कि आपने इसे बाहर कर दिया, आपने प्रिपेयर ही नहीं किया. अब इतने साल से हम लोग बात करते चले जा रहे हैं, जो हमें ऑब्वियसली फ्यूटाइल है, डिस्कशन फ्यूटाइल ही होगा, बट देन एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आपको एटलीस्ट प्रिपेयर करना है ना. अगले पुजारा का कौन रिप्लेसमेंट हो सकता है, अजिंक्य रहाणे का कौन हो सकता है, आपने इस पे प्रिपरेशन नहीं की है. रणजी ट्रॉफी में इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं दी प्लेयर्स को. हनुमा विहारी इतने साल रहे, ठीक है, वो थोड़ा ऑर्थोडॉक्स माइंडसेट है, बट देन यू हैव टू गिव हिम दैट कॉन्फिडेंस ना उतना कि भाई तुम खेल सकते हो. टेस्ट क्रिकेट के ऊपर फोकस करो, लॉन्गर वर्जन पे फोकस करो. यू विल बी देयर, यू विल बी गिवन अ सर्टेन नंबर ऑफ मैच, और तुम यू कैन अश्योर योरसेल्फ दैट यू कैन स्टे देयर आउट देयर. और कॉन्फिडेंस से तुम जितना परफॉर्मेंस डिलीवर करोगे उतना मैचेस मिलता जाएगा. तो आपने वो फेथ दिखाई वो ऑर्थोडॉक्स प्लेयर्स ने. I mean, I'm talking about Kanga League. Kanga League is once a tournament that was played in monsoon. और वो monsoon में बारिश में खेला जाता था, और अभी नहीं खेला, अभी थ्रू आउट द ईयर होता है, एंड अभी भी चालू है EB डिवीजन. तो वो सब कंडीशंस आपको टफ बनाती थी, क्योंकि विकेट टफ रहती थी, आउटफील्ड टफ रहता था, डिफिकल्ट रहती थी. it's unfair to compare that era to this era because आज players, international players, Mumbai players themselves are scared to play in leagues like Kagani because of getting injured. तो IPL miss out हो जाएगा या रणजी या अपना बड़े matches. So that is something. जो hard tournaments होते हैं, difficult tournaments, वो आपको एक तैयार करके देते थे, एक बड़े player को बना के देते थे, mentally strong बना के देते. जो आज हमें देखा नहीं, आपने ट्रांजिशन फेज में हेल्प नहीं किया कि भाई आप नया प्लेयर्स रिप्लेसमेंट ला, आप सडनली बाहर कर दिए दोनों को. फिर वो माइंडसेट नहीं आपका टेस्ट क्रिकेट वाला, ऑर्थोडॉक्स वाला कि आपको क्या अप्रोच, क्योंकि देखिए आप बैटिंग विकेट पे आप अप्रोच इंटेंट दिखा सकते हो, इंडोर विकेट देखिए, इंटेंट इज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट गोइंग फॉर सिक्सेस एंड बाउंड्रीज. इंटेंट इज आल्सो अबाउट बीइंग देयर, डिफेंडिंग गुड बॉल्स, और आप कन्विंसिंगली खेलने और चढ़ने नहीं दे रहे हो बॉलर को, तो आपने दैट इज आल्सो इंटेंट. तो एग्जैक्टली हमको वो नहीं दिख रहा, हमको प्रॉपर प्लान नहीं दिख रहा है. टेस्ट क्रिकेट को हम डिफरेंशिएट नहीं कर पा रहे, T20 सब जंबल अप होके आ रहा है. जो इंटेंशन, जो कैप्टन का जो नजरिया है रोहित शर्मा का, वो वैसे ही है जैसे यार आप आईपीएल खेल रहे हो या ओडीआई खेल रहे हो, आपको यार हर बार इंटेंट नहीं दिखेगा, बाउंड्री सिक्सेस, कॉशियस अप्रोच रहना चाहिए आपको. टेस्ट क्रिकेट को टेस्ट क्रिकेट की तरह खेलना चाहिए, नहीं तो आई मीन इफ यू स्टार्ट मिक्सिंग अप द गेम, आई थिंक देयर इज नो फ्यूचर. आपका अब क्या WBC फाइनल भी नहीं पहुंचोगे.
Okay, Jamie, lastly, Klaus भाई ने थोड़ा बताया कि इंटेंट एक्चुअली है क्या, बट व्हाट इज अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, व्हाट इज दैट इंटेंट, क्या होना चाहिए? क्योंकि इंटेंट के पीछे, इंटेंट को आगे रख के ना, शील्ड बना के, बैटर्स आर जस्ट गोइंग आफ्टर द बॉलर, ट्राइंग टू गो आफ्टर द बॉलर्स, एंड उसके बाद हम 200 पे 8 हो जाते हैं. सो व्हाट इज योर डेफिनेशन ऑफ इंटेंट?
Look, there's no, when it comes to test batting, I'm assuming you're asking the question from the perspective of what it requires in a test match. That depends on the day, on the session, on the situation, on the scorecard, on the conditions. If I'm not mistaken, Cheteshwar Pujara was dropped 4 times for intent. West Indies, England 3 times, Sri Lanka, I believe 3 times he was dropped because of intent. So again, intent, all 4 of us here at any given situation will have a different meaning. At that time, how Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli unfortunately viewed intent, it saw him dropped for the West Indies, Sri Lanka, England. अब हुआ क्या कि अचानक जब आप श्रीलंका में रंगना हेरात ने आपका नंगा नाच कर दिया, you suddenly faced yourself needing to win a 3rd test match. Oh shit, what do we do? Let's call Pujara, the same guy you dropped for 2 test matches and the West Indies. Maybe he has the intent. You bring him in, beta opening karoge, and he gets 128 and you win that match and you win the series. So it depends. On a certain day against a certain bowling, the intent was held against him. 2 months later or 6 months later or 3 series later, that same intent is what gets him back in the team. England 2018 first test match, he is not there. You get smashed. Arey yaar, intent chahiye. Then you play him for 4 test matches. So there's no definition, and I don't think there ever will be, intent. I think Tozbai and Sahil both talked about that under Rohit Sharma. In any other team, the shot that Jasprit Bumrah played yesterday, he would have been hauled over the coals. But if Rohit Sharma likes that kind of batting, why is no one talking about Jasprit Bumrah's shot? Wait, stumps aane wala hai, kaale badal hai, tuk kar. It's all good, batting with Shami at the Oval. It's all good hooking West Indies medium pacers. When you had to stick there, why were you making room and swiping? So again, but if Rohit Sharma and Dravid like that intent, then we're going to see Bumrah being given the license. You have space for one such player. Umesh Yadav, जितना भी आप उसके कान की बीच डालोगे उससे नहीं हो पाएगा. He will bat the same way. चलो ठीक है. 9, 10 and Jack cannot bat with that same intent, right? Now the counter argument could be. I'm not saying. I'm saying it could be that on those conditions जहाँ पे बहुत मुश्किल है, maybe like Shardul, you try and take some risks and hope to get. But 1 से लेकर 11 का intent क्या है? It cannot be the same, right? So you have to find that balance, right? Shubman Gill, what is Shubman Gill's intent? I personally do not know. Had he been bowled to the gate, had he got a ball like Kohli got, I would say, theek hai. But you cannot be glancing down the leg side, right? So, intent, we will never have it. Khaskar jab Ravi Shastri, Virat, I've been very critical of them. I'm not going back. And now we have Rohit Sharma and Rahul. The Vikram Rathod comes out and says yesterday that KL Rahul is our crisis man. Really? He's your crisis man? That means your team is in crisis. So yesterday many will say, "Bhai, KL Rahul ne kya intent dikhaya?" baat sahi hai, but then what in 10 did Rohit Sharma, So I think we look for soft targets. I think the rot started with the shot that Rohit Sharma played.
Yes.
Right.
True.
You're the captain. Like my 9-year-old would know that there's a long leg and a fine leg. So why is someone who has taken 10 years to understand Test cricket, how it's cracked, why is he playing that shot? I'm saying I will still give Gill perhaps this whole series because he's only played in India and West Indies, and it's his first time there. Same, I'll give some cushion to Jaiswal, but if Gill does not score in these next 3 innings, I'm saying drop him for the England series. If you think it's Ishwaran, then by God, give Ishwaran 3 Test matches. Personally, I don't see any such young batsmen coming up, which is why I agree with Sahil. Bihari ko chhod do bhai. People talking about Karun Nair, Bihari, inko hatao. If someone like Ishwaran, who's 29, has ticked every box, if you think it's in, then give him a chance. You didn't know what to do with Abhinav Mukund 5 years ago, right? If you think that right now number 3 का batsman एक ऐसा batsman है जो shine निकाले, जो leave करे, identify him and give him 3 out of 5 Test matches. But take that call. If Shubman Gill does not score in the next 3 innings, and chances are very low given his mental space right now, then do not back him at 3. But then don't say Ishan Kishan to KL. Nahin. Pick someone, and I know I'm in the minority. I think we're not far from that stage where teams are going to horses for courses is going to have to become common in Test cricket. अगर घर पे आप सिर्फ raging turners दोगे, तो ऐसे ही खिलाड़ी pick करो सिर्फ on a series by. I think, like Tosbai said, the formats are getting blurred. If you want to be a good Test team, if you genuinely aspire to win the WTC, I personally would have no issue saying, you know what, Shreyas Iyer, you're the best player of spin. We're only going to play you in India. We're not going to play you. That 92 he got on day 1 of the Bangalore Test, a Test match that got done in 3 days, that was like a 150. But don't assume that Shreyas Iyer will do well at Super Sport Park. Start dividing teams based on conditions. Gone are the days when you have Sachin, Kallis, Dravid who can do well across the board. आप में वो depth Test cricket में तो नहीं है. Start picking teams based on a series by series basis. It's a very left field thing, but it might just win you some titles.
Yeah. Okay, so the
एक second, I just have a question. I just have a question for JB भाई. उनके एक चीज को आगे लेके जाने के लिए.
I was just an update. The rain has stopped, but the covers are still on, and the players have started to warm. Covers are also coming off for now. Yeah, Kaushal, we'll go ahead.
Yeah, you were saying we are not able to find those youngsters, people who can be, youngsters who can play that Test matches. Those youngsters we have not been able to identify. Don't you think IPL is one of the reasons why youngsters are inclined more towards the T20 format, quick money format? I mean, the focus is shifting. The mentality is starting from the grassroots level. What I have seen, people are more into, getting that colored clothing rather than those white flannels. Despite playing, despite getting those opportunities, at least in Mumbai level, they are getting an opportunity to play. But then intent, जो मैं देखता हूँ वो बड़े स्कोर्स की रहती है, बैटिंग विकेट्स पे रहती है. आपको नजर आता है कि आप ज्यादा IPL मोड में खेलो. आपको मतलब, don't you think that could be one of the reasons? Sahil and Jamie bhai both, and Soumya, you can also give your views as well.
No, absolutely. That's the reason why the batting is in decline. That's the reason why there's no spinners coming up. We always go after batsmen. मैं तो पूछ चुका हूँ. I've done a video on my chat, written an article after Ashwin and Jadeja. Can you name a spinner right now, an uncapped spinner or white ball spinner who can play 2 years of Test cricket? है ही नहीं कोई नहीं है. So this is the problem. T20, when the late Vishen Singh Bedi went after T20s, most people scoffed. But this is a man who knows, I think, a little bit about spinning. His first thing when T20 came, he said, forget batsmen. It's going to kill spinners. Do we have any domestic spinners? With all due respect to Saurabh Kumar from UP, if he's the next name we're talking about, God help Indian cricket, right? So T20, of course, and I understand it's commercial, it's purely finance. And I am the last person to say that someone should chase a contract. You're allowed, aapka hak hai, paise kamana, but what is the result? You're talking about Test cricket. Since the IPL came, has India won a T20 World Cup? No, right? So what is apart from making people earn money, and again, I'm all for people earning money, buying flats, giving their parents, apartments in gated communities, buying cars. I'm all for that. But what are you losing, right? You've not been able to win a T20 World Cup when you have the richest T20 league going around. Your team is not winning one-day titles, and your team is like not able to win the one trophy that's there in Test cricket. So it's a lot of things. But again, Jivanjot Singh came somewhat 8-9 years ago. He was seen as the next number 3. He probably lost his way because he couldn't play T20s. That's what I'm saying. Identify someone. Bhai, tu agle 3 saal tak tu sirf Ranji khelega, right? I mean, he's the last name. I don't watch as much domestic as you guys do. He's the last guy who's apparently supposed to be the next Dravid. That's an unfair label. But the moment someone comes up and scores 1,000 runs, usko automatically smack mein mat dalo. Who knows? Maybe he won't succeed. But on the off chance, Pujara became Pujara. Did he get there by playing smacked? He did not, right? Did Dravid become the world by playing smacked? He did not. They all came from playing, Ranji trophies, zonal cricket, 4-day cricket. If your test team, and I think the next 2 years are going to be extremely painful to watch Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma bat, right? Virat Kohli's got a slip disc. He wears contacts. Rohit Sharma is a compulsive hooker. These are the last 2 guys we'll ever see, probably will ever get 7,000, 5,000 test runs, right? But we need to find when these guys go. Pujara was the next Dravid. Who's the next Rohit Sharma? Who's the next Virat Kohli? So it's not just about, not having someone to chase the crease. I really fear that 2 years down the line, this team is not, they're going to be beaten by Bangladesh regularly. They're going to be beaten by Afghanistan because we don't look down the line. Chal raha hai. So it's very convenient. I get your point to blame the IPL, but to me, the problem is bigger than the IPL. It's the whole cricket system. And right now, I think the next 2 years are going to be very, very bad for this team across formats.
Okay, coming back to the game quickly, Sahil, what are you expecting looking at KL Rahul, the way he played yesterday? How much, practically, what is the score that you are expecting for India in the first innings?
I think if he manages to add 20-25 runs to the overnight total, it will be gold for us any which way. Anything beyond that will be like super gold, platinum, ekdam gold standard double. 24 carat, but अभी 22 carat से satisfy रहते हैं. 20-25 run, let's be realistic. 20-25 run लगे. Hope he gets 100. I am a big fan of milestones. I won't say that I'm not a big fan of milestones, but he richly deserves that 100. He played well, looked good, and you ought to get happy for contributions like these because see, last 6 months के अंदर he has been a lot. From a stage where he was not sure whether he'll, play the World Cup, play the Asia Cup. वो Asia Cup वाला 100 आते ही पहले match में when another back spasm gave him a spot in the playing 11, and from there on that knock in the World Cup against Australia, I think there hasn't been looking back for KL Rahul, and I think वो यहाँ के बीच का जो matter है ना थोड़ा important,
Yeah. Okay, चलिए let's hope KL Rahul is able to add some good runs and हमारे bowlers के पास कुछ हो to bowl at. Well, thank you gentlemen for joining me in this live session. It was lovely chatting with you and thank you for your insights. Bye bye.
Fastest cricket score updates या सबसे detailed stats
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या healthy debates
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज,
सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म,
क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।